Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Elephant Exposed. I am your host, Mr. TNTVS or CJ Jones. I'm not going to waste any time. I want for you guys to just enjoy this commentary. I follow this brother all the time, anytime. I'm uh, just wanting to take a break from all the hustle and bustle of the internet, the feeds, and different things like that. And every now and then, this particular brother will be approached to respond or to react to something that him and we just simply agree on. And I do have my opinions about topics like this, just as a grown man, just sitting back and observing the younger generation versus an older generation or whatnot. But without further ado, this is my one of my favorite guys to follow. Um, Here we go. I'll just say it like that.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this brother, I be seeing this brother online, man, social media, and apparently he rattled some cages in the social media world. Cause he said if a woman is in her 30s and 40s and she ain't wifed up, then she messed up. If she ain't messed up by then, it's like how did all these great men just miss her? And the thing about it is, I don't know, like people, most of the time in your 20s, you got to have some growing to do, man. Some maturing. Folks, you got to remember it's a different time, man. Women in their 20s, men in their 20s, they were different. Back in the day, I'm talking about 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. A man in his 20s and a woman in her 20s were way more mature than what we are now, because both of them knew how to cook, both of them knew how to clean. They had responsibilities. There were things that people knew how to do. You know what I mean? And they were raised with, they had skills,
Yes,
life
agree.
skills. Like everybody knew how to cook. Everybody knew how to clean. Everybody knew how to work. Everybody knew what a family looked like. Now, y'all just want to party. Somebody 20 years old, think people don't know how to cook, don't know how to clean, barely know how to drive a damn car. You know what I mean? A lot of times you don't have life skills like that. You know what I mean? You take a 20-year-old
Yeah.
from way back in the day, this dude's an electrician, he a plumber, he's a janitor, he's a teacher, he's an inventor, he know how to cut hair, he know how to cut grass, he know how to pressure wash a building. That's just one person. A
Yeah.
woman in her 20s back in the day, she know how to do hair, she know how to embalm bodies, she's a secretary, she can cook, she can clean, she know how to babysit, she can change a tire, she know how to fish, she know how to hunt, she know she know how to do it. Whatever you know what I'm saying, whatever it is that you think you like, whatever it is that you need, they know how to do it. All I'm saying is back in the day is them different kind of people. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So now when you're dealing with people in their 20s, they don't know how to do nothing. You'd be lucky if they got one skill, one life skill. And the point that I'm trying to make is there were life skills that people had that was essential to survival. And marriage was one of the institutions that people knew that was essential to survival. Not everybody just want to relax and party and chill and have a good time, and they don't have any life skills, and they not trying to get married. People trying to enjoy their singleness, and it takes a little bit longer for people to be more mature, for people to evolve. So more people are getting married in their 30s than their early 20s. It just is what it is. I don't know. I don't know who right or wrong. You know what I mean? But I just can't, you can't, I wouldn't blame it just on the woman. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to see the whole video. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I had so many things to go through my head. Of course, I enjoy my brother Shula King for breaking out this, uh, sharing his opinion and breaking it down, according to just what I see and agree with what I think is everyday life. I mean, I'm 50 years old, so I've experienced some things a little bit. And one thing I can say, and you guys may have taken his commentary to be funny and entertaining. But here's the thing about this particular response. That's a lot of truth in his delivery of the truth. Our parents were built differently. Yes, they come from a surviving type of mentality, but they both brought something to the table. My parents, in particular, I felt like he peered in he was talking about my parents. My dad went by this phrase all the time. I heard it coming up as a kid, but it really didn't gel with me until I became older and I became the provider of my household and things. But one of the things that he would say quite often, you know, son, spread yourself out, when it comes to like your work, you want to be able to have, you got to have something to fall back on. He would say that all the time. And he will be referred to, and people like him will be referred to as be a jack of all trades, be a jack of all trades. And there was a little hook to that to was it will be a master at none. That's not only part that I would disagree with. I would say no, master at least one. But yes, vocational skills, survival skills, I don't care what you call it. Our generation have lost that. My dad did a lot of things from bricklaying, construction, carpentry, mechanic, truck driver, cutting grass. I mean, landscape. I mean, anything that had to do with something that had to do with outside and even inside. I mean, the man could cook, he could clean. Now, could he cook like my mom? Nah. But that man could burn up almost anything on a grill. And then my mother on the other end, she just wasn't one of these women that just sit back, I make my man take care of me. No, my mother was not only the keeper of her house, but she was the house to go to for extended family and friends that was down and everything else. She was a caretaker by every means. She was our pastor's aide. In a way, she was the hospital because she was a nurse's aide. And I mean, and she put herself through school because see, their story was they didn't go through all the grades like how we traditionally did. So they worked, but then she put herself back in school and everything, got her GED and so forth, and then she just kept rolling. I mean, our parents was just built that way, you know. And then on top of that, most of all, they had a common. They met each other on common ground. You know, my mother didn't try to run and rule the house, and my dad was just a hard working dad, and he wasn't like super affectionate or nothing like that. But none of us went hungry. None of us went without clothes. We didn't necessarily do like name brands and all this other stuff like how all the other kids did, but we never missed out or anything. And so, how do I relate this back to what this man is saying here? That if a woman is in her 30s or 40s, and she's still single, I would say instead of just dogging out the women or isolating the women to something like that, I would say, um, I wouldn't necessarily agree with the generalization of it all, but there is something to look into because I mean, just looking at my life, I had to restart. And sometimes people do, you just sometimes life itself be lifing. You make bad decisions. You didn't quite you thought you knew a person or whatever the case may be. I wouldn't necessarily say that individual is messed up as in like all the blame is on them. Um, but it's an interesting point to bring up and everything. Uh, but I'm on board with Schuler. I did not see this video. His reaction got my attention about this video. And so I want to know, what do you guys think about this video and everything? Do you agree with this man? Or at least in part? Um, how were you raised? Because see, to me, that plays a big part in it too. You know, about what we consider what are our norms and so forth. And therefore it bleeds over into how we date or progress or whatever in our own personal lives. You know, this kind of reminds me of another individual show that I follow, RRG, talking about Drea Michelle and her relationship with Mr. Jalen Green, being the same age as her son, and now they are bringing in a uh, a baby girl. Uh, mm, wow. So, and someone shared their opinion on it, and I just so happen to agree from the overall perspective, because I am a Christian man. I am traditional in my thinking when it comes to roles and stuff like that, being in the household. And I'm pretty sure I can think I have a pretty safe bet whenever I share this person's opinion about their situation, whenever they were saying that the fact that they are okay with uh or they are willing to purposefully create a broken home is crazy to that individual. According to the show, you would have to follow it all the way through. I'm not going to give someone else's commentation away and everything. And plus, her platform, she's extremely funny. Evidently, she does a lot of work and everything. And she connects all the dots. So she takes us from the discovery of Drea Michelle all the way to the present. And I would highly encourage you that if you're into tea and things like that, that's another very interesting uh show to follow and see. Uh, but as far as the opinion of the person that had this of Drea Michelle, I do agree. We have just fallen so far away from what societal norms uh was, you know. I do believe in change. I believe in progression, not regression. And when we're talking about our people, our culture, I feel like uh we have missed the mark. Yes, we have improved on some things. We have improved on certain platforms overall, but in the other areas I feel like we have digressed. And raising children in a home and so forth, and um it's crazy. Children are running the home, um things like that. And we need to get a grip as parents, as leaders in our society and everything, and especially in our own culture, the Black culture. But anyway, that's all I have, guys. Just tell me what you guys think. I would love to hear your opinion about this. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for new videos that I will be doing for you guys. With all that being said, I catch you on the other side. Y'all be good.